We're back live, and I just want to bring in former federal prosecutor, our colleague Lise Wheel. Lise, I think that was the first time ever Jennifer Powell Graves admitted publicly that she thought her father and brother may have been in cahoots in terms of the disappearance of Susan Powell.
Absolutely the first time. I mean, she really threw him under the bus. And, you know, I was sort of shocked as I was watching it. On the other hand, she realizes, if I may be so bold, that he did it. That he is responsible. And
that
so now
you mean Josh, her brother, or her father?
That her brother and her father was also involved as well. We don't know how far implicated, but certainly the brother did it.
And certainly the sister/daughter would be a person in position to have deep suspicions based on fact and circumstance. All right, Lise, now this is the story I wanted you to talk about. In the way the Manson family murders in '69 changed the way people live in L.A., gave birth to the whole private home security business on the west side of L.A., the home invasion, rape, torture, and triple murder case, now going on trial in Connecticut, is really changing the way people live. Listen.
15 minutes later, Steve came back and motioned for me to go back into the office with him. He was mad at me because I had, on several occasions, accidentally used his name in front of the occupants of the house. And flat out said, you know, we got to kill him. You know,
we got to what?
We got to kill him.
Kill them?
Yeah, kill the family and burn the house down on top of them.
Now, how did your conversation about killing the family end?
He just walked away like it was a statement. That's how it was going to be, you know, and that's that.
So damn matter of fact, it makes me crazy. And these horrible, horrible people, what they did. Sitting alongside Lise, that's Steve Moore, the retired FBI agent who runs, I'm sorry, what did I say? Yeah, Thomas Asking, I bet the wrong guy. But wrong name, right guy. I'm sorry.
Right guy.
Okay. Forgive me for that. But Lise, you live near the Connecticut border. Has it affected you and your neighbors?
Absolutely. After the shock sort of wore off, I mean, the days and days of just couldn't believe it. Because we kind of all feel, I hate to say it, a little bit immune in some of those neighborhoods. That this could never happen, you know, anywhere, but certainly not here. We started a neighborhood watch. It's very informal, but we got together, we talked about it, and you know, if there's one upside of it is I got to know my neighbors a little bit better, and we're watching out for each other more.
But this really creeped you out in a way other crimes have not.
No, I've got a young child at home. I mean, a teenager. And I do the ADT, and I do all of that. I lock my garage. I mean, I do all the things. I lock all my windows. But that one did, because I felt unless I get a gun, which I don't really want to do, then I am defenseless. And something like having neighbors that are watching, lights that are on. I did get a lot of my lights changed, you know, the outside lights. I now leave lights on at night inside, even though I was trying to, you know, save energy. Now, I don't do that anymore. I keep them on. Any little thing like that that you can do but it really did change it. It scared us.
Tom Ruskin, a.k.a. Steve Moore, but really Tom Ruskin, former NYPD detective, not FBI agent. But Tom, you know, it's a gun, maybe, I mean, this is going to be a big boom for guns. It's not easy to get a gun license in Connecticut.
No, not in Connecticut. New York suburbs are a little bit easier. New York City is virtually impossible. But, you know, you have to look towards the systems you already have, and you have to alter those systems. So make your alarm system audible on the outside.
It really annoys the alarm, but you know, they're so annoying.
It doesn't matter, but it's annoying, so someone may call the police. So if you can't, put panic buttons in your bedrooms, by the sides of the bed.
How about something as simple as a dog?
A dog is good. But the problem with the dog is every single time the person's casing, they know the dog's there, and they can slip something to the dog as they come in.
Right, bring a steak with a tranquilizer. You read this diary. That's exactly what he was talking about.
He knew exactly what he was going to do.
Thomas, do you believe that this case, because of its, you know, there cases come and go, let's face it.
That's right.
And we are horrified, you know, for the moment. Then there's so many catastrophes competing for center stage, we move on to the next case. But this one seems to have stuck in a way the others haven't.
This stuck because there were chances of police or the family alerting the police, and maybe, listen, it's always easy to Monday morning quarterback, and that's very, very easy to do. But there were chances that this family could have survived had the police or someone else done something.
It was appalling the way they handled it.
And they did everything. I mean, she went to the bank, she got the money, she did everything, she acquiesced, and still this happened? I mean, what monsters?
You're looking at a videotape there of Casey Anthony, I think. That's the next story up. I want to thank you both. They were monsters. Horrifying. I was going to make a glib statement about monsters in the next case, but I won't. Coming up, how inflammatory